Talk to me about the relationship between big tech and big pharma and big food, because it seems to have even changed the last few years, as we've seen with lockdown and COVID and vaccines. I mean, you mentioned freedom of speech, but in 2020, we had a big fight with YouTube over freedom of speech and things we weren't allowed to say. And Doctor, I've been broadcasting for 9 years. I had never once had a video taken down, and I did on April 6th of 2020 when it was the second largest YouTube live stream in the world, because we were asking questions about some things happening. And I didn't understand it at the time. I was like, why would a tech company stop me from saying this? But it's a weird kind of a marriage of all these things. And I'm just curious what you think of it and what you think we can do about it, if anything.
I think the tech companies are heavily invested in the pharmaceutical companies. I mean, I don't think that. I know that. And they suppressed freedom of speech. They suppressed the positive articles on hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin. And if you're a doctor, they would shame you. They'd report you to the medical board. I mean, it was a very dark time in America. And I think a lot of people now see the attempt at control, and there's been a backlash against it. Actually, in one poll here in the United States, so Robert Kennedy, who he's labeled as an anti-vaxxer, he's not. He's a smart vaxxer, if you actually listen to him. But he had, on one day last week, he had 20% of the Democratic vote among likely voters against President Biden. And he's never, ever run for office. But I think he represents a response to big pharma. And he's an environmental lawyer. And if you actually go on his website, he's against a lot of things that are damaging our children, like plastics and toxins in the water and pollution, not just over vaccinations. Can you imagine that? I mean, we pretty much knew all along that a lot of kids, even when they got COVID, didn't get sick, didn't get hurt. And now they're forcing children to be vaccinated in order to go to school. There's a problem psychologically, not to mention biologically, but there's a problem when you force people to do something to their bodies against their will. For vaccination, we know doesn't prevent you from getting it or spreading it. And so, the amount of anger is just so intense among so many of my colleagues and so many of my patients. And then what you saw in 2021, especially at Christmas, was if you didn't agree with other people in your family, you wouldn't see each other for Christmas. I never had seen anything like that social disconnection that happened, that the level of vitriol was just so intense. We're going to feel the fallout of this for a generation at least.
Right, whether it was like buying the narrative or not buying the narrative, split people so far down the middle that they would not even get together for Christmas. That's what you saw in 21.
It was awful. It's a little bit better last year. And I think this year people are beginning to go, oh, that was a really crazy time. But I think because the government did it so poorly, did the manipulation so poorly, that they're going to have a harder time doing it again.
Yeah. So it's fascinating you bring up, Robert, because we were broadcasting in March and April of 2020 and asking questions about PCR tests, masks, and, God forbid, a vaccine. And I had Robert on the show, but I couldn't stream him on YouTube because they would have, thrown me off the platform. So we created a separate streaming platform, and I had a conversation with Robert going into it, I mean, I got an engineering degree from MIT, and I just respect the science. And so I was like, I'm ready for the vaccine. And then I spent an hour and a half with Robert. And at the end of that, I said, wait a second, there's a lot going on here that I had no idea was going on. He explained everything and the Active 86, and I found him incredibly informed, intelligent, everything. And we had him back on a few months ago, but the fact that he couldn't speak to people at that time was shocking. And the way they just character defamed him into something that he just really isn't. Like you said, he's got a whole long history of working for environmental issues and autism in children and all these other things. And yeah, I think maybe now some people are starting to understand that about him, but he really opened my mind to a lot of things. So yeah, good to have people like that out there. But things were really suppressed at the time. And so for you, that relationship is already there, and this is just exacerbating what you're seeing happening right now. So we have more obesity, more mental disorders, and this is all going one way, which is the wrong way. And America is leading the charge there.
America certainly is leading the charge. But it's a reason to get up every morning and be in the fight, be in the war. And, the mission I have is to end the concept of mental illness by creating a revolution in brain health. So that's why I get up. That's why I have 5 million followers on social media. And I'm, whatever you think about TikTok, and I certainly have differing views, but I love the fact that my 13-year-old niece gets irritated because all of her friends follow me. That it's we need different information. There's this explosion of interest in mental health, with people like Simone Biles and other celebrities, and I'm of two minds with that. One, yes, it's important to talk about. But two, the more people that talk about it, the more medication is going to be prescribed. And it's just a little weird when Simone Biles, who I'm a huge fan of, is now sponsored by Powerade from Coca-Cola. I'm like, Coca-Cola is part of the evil empire. Right? I mean, sugar water, and every one of their containers has BPAs in it, which are toxins. Every one of their containers, and if you go on their website, they're sort of proud of it. And so if you think of the plastics, the sugar, the caffeine, and then the celebrities who are endorsing it, it's like, how do children make sense out of all of this? And my goal is to help them see how they're being manipulated and to take their lives back.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world.
Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year's gonna be too late. Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm gonna tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone, also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days, but it's based on trading discipline.
I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing, and everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up. If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. What are you gonna do? What's the choice that you're going to make?